I think we're there. Yeah, we're there. Streaming. Yay.
Hi,
Hey, Laura, how's it going?
I am doing fantastic. It's absolutely a beautiful day out.
Oh, yeah.
I got stuff to do after this, and our pool at Lifetime is open,
Ooh, ooh.
and so I'm excited about going to that tomorrow. But you know what? Everywhere you turn, finding out about all these scams. I didn't even tell you, Debbie. I got multiple phone calls the last 3 days telling me I won the Publishers Clearinghouse. They left messages and said that. And they're all different amounts, they're all different numbers. I'm like, what the heck? What is this newest scam out there? So
Yeah.
what happened yesterday was I happened to call one of the numbers back. And so it was a 630 number. And I figured, well, maybe it's, one of my doctors or whatever, because that's an area code by our house for anybody listening. So I called the guy back and he was disabled. You could hear from his voice. He had disability.
Oh, wow.
And I said to him, I said, sir, this is just a scam. And you should not be doing something like this. They're using you to do this. And Gary, my boyfriend, got on right after that. And he was like telling him, does your mom know what you're doing?
Yeah.
All this other stuff. And he goes, well, why did she call me back if she thought it was a scam? And Gary says, she called you because it was a number that she might have known from the doctor's office. She was waiting for a doctor's call. And Gary went going on and on and on about it's a sin for what you're doing and you shouldn't be doing this. And then he finally hung up. Isn't that crazy?
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. And you know what's really crazy, Lori, is that like there are some people, there is this way that they take people's phone numbers too. So, like, that gentleman could have been involved in that. But have you ever returned a call on a scam situation and got a legit person and you say, someone called me from this number or whatever, and they're like, honest to God, I didn't. Like, you could tell, right? Have you ever had that situation?
Yeah, a few times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You
Well,
know,
I got one. Go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, we'll bounce back and forth. Let's see how many of these we can cover. Because I mean, or we may just start talking about different ones
Yeah.
in depth. But yesterday, talk about funny, because you and I were saying let's do a second part, and I'm like, all right. And I'm trying to make some notes of all these ones to remember. I literally had a client say to me, "Oh my goodness, did you hear about this new AI scam?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I heard something, but I didn't know." Similar to something else that's been going around, but a little bit different. So they can record your voice so that they can, like, if they get you on the phone, they can record you as you're talking so that they can literally like use your voice in another magnitude. And the one that she was saying is they'll call up and they'll ask you for your email. When they get your email, then they try to use that to get like into different things. Okay. Like, your personal information, blah, blah, blah. And so I guess the point of everything is now don't even answer and mess with them. Like I spoke about before, how I love to mess with them because my cousin does. I'm not going to even do that anymore, because don't answer. And then if it's really legitimately somebody that wants to get a hold of you, they're going to leave you a voicemail and they're going to say it's them, because anything that they get from you, you don't want it. You don't want them to, recording you or anything, because you just don't know, you know. But on the other flip of the coin, if you happen to get on the phone with them, this is hilarious. They're going to probably say they're recording you, right? Oh, well, we're recorded. This is recorded, whatever. Say, oh, that's great because I'm recording you too. And more than likely, they're going to click, because they don't want to be recorded. They don't want to get caught. you know.
No, that's a really good point. I didn't even think about that, about the
Yeah.
recording. This is on a recorded line.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have another one about that one scares me. In fact, it scared me so much when you were telling me about it. I went online and found some more information. So go ahead and tell us.
Ooh, are you talking about the one about the grandkid?
Right.
Okay. Okay. And then after that, remember to remind me about the one about the dollar. Okay. So first the grandkid. So the grandkid one is that I personally know somebody that actually this happened to. So the woman answered the phone and the person's like, grandma, it's me, grandma, it's me. And she goes, oh, is it you? And use the name. Okay. And when she said that, the person said, yes, it's so and so. And so they started talking and they're like, please don't tell my dad. Please don't tell my dad. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. And so then the grandma's like, oh, what happened? And so the kid starts talking. And then she was like, like her feelers went up. Okay. This is the good part. They distinguish that. There are others that don't, right? And so with this one, she said, oh, so and so, what is your dad's name? And the kid couldn't say it. And then all of a sudden it was like click. Okay. But I've heard it go farther. I've heard it where they'll say, they don't do that. The person wasn't smart enough to say, what is your father's name? And the kid says, I need money. I'm in trouble. Please don't tell him. And can you send me this, this, and this? And the grandma's like, oh, sure, honey. And gets all the information or whatever. And so there's some very gullible people out there, because they're just not in tune to all this. So that story happened well for the person I knew, but I heard of another person that didn't go well for. So.
Yeah, well, I went online and I was looking on YouTube and they were talking about that. They were talking about kidnapping and all that and how they get your voice, they get the person's voice. They were talking about how the person's on the line and saying, I have your son, or not your son, your grandson, or whatever, I'm having hostage and I need this money. And they want you to stay on the telephone because a lot of times if they say, okay, I'll get right back to you, I'm going to verify this, then they know you will call the number. And how they get the person's phone number, because they call from like the grandma's phone number or the kid's phone number, is they get it somehow through going through things. And then what they do, they have it on their system. They get it from emails, they get them from text messages and all kinds of stuff. And then what happens is they show up and it says Mom's cell or grandma. And so you know that it's legit, but it's really not legit. Did I explain that right?
You did. Yeah, I follow what you're saying. And you know what? It's getting freakier and scarier because it's just, you've got to be just so careful.
You get your phone numbers from emails and all kinds of stuff. Like you said, that the one thing here that I was just reading here about the wrong text. Okay. Somebody will send you a text and they'll say, it'll be something like a romantic thing, or, I want to get together, or, something to that effect. And then it's important. So you text that person back. And I remember doing that a couple of times and saying, you got the wrong number, and then the person starts talking to you a little bit and everything, and they get your number from that thing. So they're able to get your phone number for future scams. Do you have anything?
I got 4 of those this week. And one of them included in that, I know I mentioned it on our last call about they were asked about a haircut. And what I've been doing is when I get those, I go to the delete part and I block it and I report. There's a place on mine where it says you can report and delete and report this. I've been getting them I'll get them random. Hi, how are you? Hi, how have you been? Today I got one on my messenger, which I closed it real quick and I've got to delete that one and block it. It was a girl. And how have you been, Debbie? I don't know who this person is. So I know that it's weird, and who knows where it's coming from. I'm seeing a face of a girl, but God only knows who that girl, if that's somebody else. This is another thing. We talked about this briefly before about the children today, about the young kids, I've got, Lyric is what? Lyric's 7, right? 7. Mariano's 9. Then you got all these, you go along all these ages, right? All these kids, they got to be so careful, and we got to keep an eyeball on what they're doing so that we know. But I got an interesting one that this is really important to you guys. There's 2 parts to this. One, if you see something on the ground, like $1 or any money, of course we're inclined to go, we want to pick it up because we're like, okay, what could it be, right? But you got to be really cautious because one thing I heard that they're lacing these dollar bills. Okay, so when you touch it, that's bad. But worse than that, not worse, this is equally worse, equally bad. if you find dollar bills on your car, okay, and you go to open your car door and you're going to stretch over and you're going to grab them off your windshield. It's online too, or they stick them in the side or whatever. You're opening your door and you're allowing yourself to be violated to the point where you're going to reach for that dollar and somebody can jump in your car, grab your purse and take off with your car. And that's what they're doing. So yeah, you got to be careful with that too. Even the flyers on the car. If I see a flyer on my car, I'll drive with it as long as I can see. Use my windshield wipers unless I really,
Right. That's a good idea. That's terrible. Every single thing that we're doing, we're being violated by these people.
Right.
I mean, we're hearing it every single day. I mean, even with the scams, but even with all the stuff with the carjackings and all the stuff that's going on, and you're afraid to go anywhere, I mean,
it's true. I mean, it's true.
I'm bringing this up, Debbie. I hope you don't mind about.
No, go ahead.
You can't even go to these fests like we used to go, and we were looking forward to it this year. But we just had a fest in one of the local towns. It's actually closer to me than it is to Debbie, but it's local. That 400 people went and invaded the thing, and they had to shut it down. Fights, and they thought there was a gunshot, but they proved it wasn't. But it was nuts. So we all have to watch our backs. It's just, and go ahead.
I have one thing that we touched on slightly. You were saying about the carjacking. I don't know if anybody knows this. I don't want to have it right here with me, but on Amazon, they sell, most of the cars have the fob things that you're going to click it, and now my car, I drive a Kia. I can go up to my car, have that inside of my purse and just touch the button and it lets me in because I'm close enough, but I have to be close enough with my purse, and do it in the back of my car too when I'm like putting groceries. It's a very awesome feature, but apparently not so good when it comes to they're able to like come up to the car, they have a computer or iPad or something, and they can like somehow trip that like code and get into your car. But here's the weird thing. This is what we found, and I'm not sure how this works because some of parts of it, as I'm saying it, don't make sense to me. But anyways, I'm following it and doing it. There's a little thing you can buy. It looks like a little wallet. It's about this big. You can buy a bigger one and a smaller one. And inside of it, it has some kind of coating. It almost looks like the inside of a cooler. It's like silvery kind of. You can put your keys inside of there, and then they can't communicate. So I guess the way it works is if you're close enough with your keys, like in a workplace or a store or something, somehow they get signals. But anyways, it blocks it. So I tried it. I put the things in there, hid it in my purse, walked up to my car. I couldn't get in. So apparently they get to the steering wheel and they pull something out, and then I don't know what they do inside there. Almost like remember years ago, I mean, you guys, things happened so long ago, but not to the magnitude of now. But remember when they used to hot wire a car or whatever, and you do it with the 2 wires or whatever? Well, it's something similar to that,
Yeah, so, it's crazy. I mean, like I said, we're talking about scams, but those are scams too,
Right.
Carjack, you just open up the news or read the news or go watch on TV every day, carjackings and shootings. It's to the point where we go in our cars and you really gotta, like, you feel like you're going into war zone.
Yeah, I know. I think you just have to be so mindful. I think that's the biggest thing right now. Mindful, watch your surroundings.
Right.
I know this is like, again, this is more safety scam stuff, but like when you're in a parking lot, do not have your phone in your purse. Do not be on your phone. Even if I tell the kids, don't be even on your earbuds, because you can't sense or hear anything the same, Be very surrounded, because they're going to catch somebody or want to go to somebody that's like not like paying attention.
Right.
And I like to walk with people. Like if I see a group of people walking, I mean, if they look pretty decent, but like I'll walk where I know they're walking, kind of thing, to get in and out of places, I don't know. It's just nuts. And it's crazy. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we forgot. You and I talk all the time about all these kind of stuff, all these things,
I don't know. There's just so many different things. I mean,
Mhm.
stuff with, these, we talked about this last week with the barcodes on the gift cards.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
The thieves go in the stores and they put a sticker over barcodes, which is a sticker for them for a gift card they have. And so the person goes up to the cash register and they get it barcode. It gets sent to that particular bar, and it doesn't go
Oh,
to the person that bought the thing. It goes to the thief. So they
that's how they do it.
have any way of telling the person that bought the car has no way to know that it got even what happened. I mean, they could go back to the store and they have the receipt and say, hey, you sent this to this different bar, or I didn't get the money on this card. I mean, picture the embarrassment when you go to give that card for somebody for a gift for graduation or wedding or something.
Oh my God, it'd be so embarrassing. Because don't you do like I do this when I get a gift card, I get that little receipt and I put that with it. So this way, in case if there was an issue or question.
Right.
It'd be so embarrassing.
Yeah. So what happens is like I said, the person that has the gift card, the crook, okay, he has a certain barcode. And so when that barcode is scanned from the card that's, got a different barcode, it goes to the one that has the other gift card. So it doesn't go to their account or anything. It goes
No,
because then there's no way to track them.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, who would ever think of something like this? I mean,
There's a lot of crazies, I'll tell you.
yeah.
You know.
Did you see this one about I got your package, where's your house?
Oh God, yes, that's terrible because you don't want people to know where you live.
Right.
And then, yeah. Or how about the ones where they say we tried to deliver your package and it was unsuccessful. Click here. I wonder what those are too.
Well, we get those all the time. Like it just so happens we get something like that when we have a package coming from somewhere else.
Oh yeah, right.
To me, I was getting something from Amazon, and then they were send me a message that said, "This is FedEx, and we have your package, and we don't know where to deliver to. Please give us a call." And then I call them and I say, I didn't order nothing from FedEx, but they'll say, oh, you owe us some dollars or whatever to get the package. I got smart to them right away, but now I won't even call because I know it's a bunch of BS,
Right. Oh, exactly.
Voice. They're trying to get your voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say, here's a crazy one. Did you hear about this one? We talked about the warranties on the cars.
Yeah.
Okay, so when my daughters got a new car, and we got a letter in the mail that said that her warranty wasn't activated. And I'm like, why would? And it wasn't even coming from the dealer, it wasn't coming from the car brand she brought, wasn't anything. So I called the salesman and I took a screenshot and sent it to him because we know them well. And it turned out, he goes, oh, ignore that. That's just a bunch of scamming garbage. Which, what if I was a little, 90-year-old woman who didn't understand that and I called there, I mean, this is so atypical for the older people, it's just.
That's exactly. It's really, if you have any older family, try to educate them a little bit and also, right, tell them to either save the stuff on their phones, because a lot of them, I just know from my mom and stuff, that they don't really know how to do a lot of this stuff.
Right.
So, they believe everything that they get on their phones. They everything.
Mm-hmm.
You have to decide what's right or wrong. Most 90% of it is wrong, and it's just terrible. That is just absolutely terrible. I was also told that you should try, when you get a wrong number or get something goofy, try not to use the word yes, because they record that.
Oh, you know what? I do remember seeing that somewhere.
Because they do, well, then, anything that they could use your yes on anything like to buy stuff or all kinds of stuff. So,
Mhm.
I mean, there's ways. They were saying they have machines that could actually take a person's voice and imitate it to say other stuff.
Wow.
Technology has been really good, but it's been bad too at the same time. Don't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And I feel like, I mean, there's stuff all the time that like I'll use my in-laws as an example. They get these things in the mail all the time that are just so random, so random. Like, you know, uh insurance. It's marketing ploy stuff, but the way they word it and the way they have it. How about this one? This one in around this area, we get these things in the mail that they want to buy your house. Okay,
No,
really? Now I know that maybe there are people out there wanting to buy houses, okay? But I don't really know if they're all legit. We had somebody ring the doorbell yesterday who wanted to know about spraying our whole house, like outside. They wanted like $158 to spray like pesticide stuff, and then they wanted to keep coming back. I'm like, you don't know if is this dude really legitimate or does he have somebody working with him and he's going to come in and do spraying and then someone else is going to come. You don't know. Like you're better off like not answering the door. My husband happened to answer the door, but the point of the matter is he felt confident that he was fine. He looked around and he opened it. If you were in a situation that it wasn't something, I've heard of someone coming in the back door then and you're being talked to by this person and then someone else is going through your house. These are other things.
We all have to be cautious. Again, cautious. You know what I would suggest to do to our audience is that you can go on YouTube and look up, scams of 2023.
Yeah.
Listen to some of these things. You don't have to watch them. Just listen to some of these things. And I bet you could even call your local police station and maybe they might have something. What do you think, Doug?
Oh, totally. I think you have to be very aware. Here's one thing too, guys. I know Lori and I talk about this, and maybe hopefully we've even mentioned it before, but I have an app on my phone called Nextdoor Neighbor. And then I also have the Patch, like patch.com. And I have, they ask you what local areas that you want to add into it. So you're constantly getting information. People are very open, like especially on Nextdoor Neighbor. And they'll say if they got scammed or, oh, this happened to them. And even if it's it's not necessarily at your house, it's when you've gone somewhere, and you've been in a store or whatever. And I think this is good. I think as a good citizen, it's nice to let people know, what's going on, but it's also nice to be able to log into it and see, yourself, so be that good neighbor and that good person. But then also when something good happens, post it too,
Exactly. I mean, it can't be all negative. I know
right.
I'm a good one because I'm in an area where there's a lot of crime. And I get all the time, police were here at 1:30 in the morning and they were finding people, they're trying to find people hiding backyards. I mean, like that. It's terrible. But I've seen everything. Everybody writes everything. And they do write good things too.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely a good app. And
yeah, no, it's good. I think we just all have to be aware and just be that good neighbor,
Have you heard, Debbie, about the LinkedIn relationship fakes?
No.
Yeah, I'm just reading it here. A criminal might send you a message on LinkedIn. I say that right. I always say that right.
LinkedIn.
Claiming to be just starting out the same industry you're in.
Oh.
Advice from more experienced colleague is flattering and fun to be a mentor, so you agree. You get to know each other, and eventually they have to move your conversation into a personal device. Then they lure you into a scam. It doesn't say what kind of scam. And that's a lot of them, what they do. They start, you're in a chicken private chat room and everything.
Oh, wow.
Talking about how they're involved in crypto.
Oh, yeah.
How to do it and how successful they are. And since you think they're successful in the same business you are, you start listening to them And then eventually some of you might buy crypto with the person. I think a lot of us are smart enough to know what's right or wrong, but you never know.
Hopefully. And here's another thing. I know you're on WhatsApp. I keep WhatsApp only because if somebody's ever in Europe, or like you were talking, Lori, family and stuff, you can communicate, But I used to do WhatsApp a lot more, and I just don't do it for these groups and stuff. We use Telegram, but still, all the time I'm getting these ones like trying to recruit or do or whatever, and they're all talking about that stuff, and I just delete, and delete and block. The delete block is the best thing, Yeah. Oh, and same thing on Facebook too. Have you gotten any of these? They want to be your friend. They're admiring your posts. How do they get on your stuff? But still, again, you got to do the same thing, delete and block.
Yeah, I get stuff all the time where men are trying to tell me about how they think I'm so wonderful and they've read some of my posts and they want to be my friend. And I laugh so hard because I know it's all a scam. And I delete them.
Oh, another one, we've gotten it on ours and I've even blocked it. They're telling you that you won something. And you're like, oh, come on. Really? Contact us for what you won. I'll contact you. I'll send, oh God.
A lot of them say that they want you to send some money so that you could get the package, okay?
Right.
Like shipping or whatever. And you do not want to give them your bank information because that's how they get your bank information.
Exactly. And so it's like crazy. Well, I think we covered a ton of stuff. I think between both of our times that we did, and I hope this gave people some really just personal awareness. Okay. And if you use your intuition, but even if it's better that you research it. And if it turns out to be something legit, so be it. But instead of getting scammed, right. I think that's the best way. Right.
Right. And if anybody has anything that they got scammed on, please post it. We want to inform everybody, even when is not even on. If you want, go on and make comments. You guys are all welcome to make comments.
Oh, absolutely. And we actually want to say this too, guys. We're trying to grow. We're trying to get bigger because you know what? We are really having fun with this. So please share us. And also, when somebody does ask to be joined, we check them out. We make sure, so we want to keep this a safe zone for everybody. And that has been our goal from day one, right, Laura?
Exactly.
Well, you want to close us out?
I sure do. You guys have a wonderful weekend. It looks like it's going to be nice here in the Chicagoland area, probably all over the country. But we just want to say thank you again for being part of our group and listening to our things. Share. With that, I'm Lori.
I'm Debbie.
We're Friends Helping Friends. God bless all you.
Take care, guys.